Next up, Advance Wars Dual Strike Normal Campaign, Chapter 12, Lightning Strikes. Yellow Comet COs have arrived. Grimm is a new character, and the first commanding officer from Yellow Comet that you see. Sensei returns from Advance Wars 2. Orange Star and Yellow Comet's COs exchange pleasantries. We now have another dual screen mission, the second one in normal campaign. The top screen has an Orange Star army, Yellow Comet units, there are 6 missile silos that can be fired off on the bottom screen using either infantry or mechs. They can only hit targets on the first front. Blast radius is big. It's like kind of a meteor strike from the original games, but it can only do 3 damage each, not like 8 or 4. As Colin points out. On the main front, we're going to want to capture the middle base on the north side of that bottom screen. Last time, your partner CO, Rachel points out, controlled the action on the second front automatically. But we can adjust the settings so we can control that side. And go to Intel and turn off Auto CO. And you can send units from the main front, which is the bottom front, up to the second front. What you would want to send up? Anti-air weapons, because there are none on the top screen. As mentioned before, Jake is not a great CO choice, so we're going to pick Rachel and Max. The other option you could actually pick is go with a Blue Moon CO, like Colin. The issue for Colin is Colin's units aren't as strong, but Colin's units are much cheaper. Let's go ahead and use Rachel as the first CO, Colin as the second CO. So looking at Rachel, it does massive firepower with a CO power. With a super CO power, can launch 3 missiles from the Orange Star HQ. Colin uses his abilities to decrease the cost of building units. If you go to Intel and go to Assault, or below Assault, you can actually turn Auto CO off, but otherwise you could actually change your AI option between Strike for aggressive posture, Assault to offensive posture, or general posture or defensive posture. Capture the HQ or destroy all enemy units. You don't lose if you lose the secondary front battle, but if you can win, you can you can use both COs to finish the touchscreen battle. Let's deploy. Mission 12, Lightning Strikes, Orange Star Day 1. You are actually battling against yellow comets like a paintball war, because they're sort of on the same side. Select the anti-air. Since both fronts are on the ground, units can be sent to the second front from bases that build units, Rachel points out, and from the HQ. Units that you've sent will arrive in the area around the second front HQ. Naval units will arrive in the waters near the second front HQ. Don't worry about space, you're able to get them up there. So Grimm is on the bottom screen. So anti-air, bring it to the HQ. Instead of pressing wait, press send to send it up to the top screen, and now you see an anti-air on the top screen. Meanwhile, build an infantry from your west base and an anti-air from the second base, because we're going to bring our mech, which we're going to move to the northwest, to try to beat Yellow Comet to that north middle island with all the missiles. And then we are switch screens if we are not having AI control it for us. So now we have the top screen as the bottom screen. We've got a mix of units, 2 recons, 2 tanks, artillery, anti-air, infantry, APC, and mech. We want to move the anti-air as far as we can to the northeast and get it closer to the battle copters. Otherwise, there's really not a lot you can do to get past the battle copters at the moment. But you can still move your units up a little bit towards the enemy. Just know that you're gonna have to pull back eventually. This probably actually wasn't the right choice. I should have switched Colin and Rachel with Colin on the bottom because Colin can build build units, and with Rachel, we're actually max up here because of all the direct units. Switching to yellow Comet day 1. Yellow Comet moves the battle copters and mechs a little closer to you, builds 2 infantry. We will move the APC up so we can move our mech towards the missiles, and otherwise build 2 more infantry on the bottom screen. Not much going on the bottom, just infantry builds. On the top screen, make sure you click the battle copters and that you have no units within battle copter range. You'll get hit later by those, but where possible, have your recons and APC take the hits, not your tanks. Okay, on Orange Star Day 3, we're moving the mech up so we can start firing off missiles next turn. Meanwhile, keep building infantry to capture cities. Guess I could have built an extra anti-air on that turn, but... And we've switched to the other side. We actually probably want to pull back. Unless you're able to actually hit anything with an anti-air. There are advantages to holding near the HQ, where your units on the cities can heal on the cheap. That's the end of Orange Star Day 3. Yellow Comet Day 3, they're coming to attack Sensei's battlecopters. Sensei has strong mechs and battlecopters. We can now start firing off some missiles. We cannot fire it up on the top screen, we can still fire it at the units on the bottom screen. We will fire it at the recon and infantry because that costs the most money to build. Otherwise, keep moving infantry up towards the north side. Use your APC to facilitate transports. Also, it may be beneficial to build a second anti-air on this Orange Star Day 4 turn. that you can transfer up to the top screen the next turn. Okay, once you switch to the top screen, you can use your anti-air to start doing some more damage. Start taking out some of the airplanes. You only really have one anti-air, so just try to keep your units on cities to heal. And use that anti-air to weaken any full health battle copters. So Orange Star, day 5, I've lured the recon into range. I can use the mech to just destroy it, and then I can later fire off the other missiles. I'm going to send up another anti-air to the top screen. I'm going to have 2 now against the 5 remaining battle copters that are full health. Otherwise, on the bottom right, I am just building more infantry and having my infantry stay out of artillery range. If there is an artillery that is built down there. And also going for the northwest airport and trying to catch that. So Yellow Comet continues to advance. It does have access to the northeast missiles. So it can hit you with 1, but hopefully you have good position here to use the other 5 missiles. Okay, now that you've moved up on the second part of Orange Star Day 5, anti-air is up. You can use 2 anti-airs to continue damaging the battle copters up there. You can always guard units. Like, for example, I have a 2 HP artillery. I'm having it surrounded by other units so that it can't just go and attack it. Down to 3 battle copters now for Sensei. Orange Star Day 6. You can fire off a bunch more missiles. Continue capturing cities. Let's build 1 more anti-air to bring up to the top, because that can also hurt mechs as well. Meanwhile, on the bottom screen, keep taking out any infantry or mechs that advance across the southern river towards you. Continue building infantry. Additionally, you can fire off some missiles against their most powerful units, like tanks, artillery. At this point, you should have decent control over that North Missile Island, and you can try to capture that base. We can use on day 6, top screen, continue using the anti-air to do damage, and at this point we should be down to maybe just one more anti-air. Just try to keep your other units healing and on cities, which also fortify them defensively. At this point, Yellow Comet Sensei could end up using, super CO power or something. At this point on the bottom screen, on day 7, you can keep firing off missiles to keep weakening their stronger units, like tanks, artillery, recon, whatever is available to aim at. You want to hit as many as you can, the most expensive units. You can send your third anti-air up to the top screen as well. And then otherwise keep moving infantry north towards the northern base. Keep building infantry until you've captured the north middle base, because it's going to be easier to build tanks out of that. Or you can build battle copters from the northwest side, which are also a bit more mobile than anything you can use to cross the river. Not much to see here with Grimm on the bottom screen, as long as you get to that top middle base ahead of time. On the top screen on day 7, you have some options. Oh, I accidentally pressed and turn. That's dumb. Did not mean to do that. Well, I couldn't really attack much of anything anyway on that turn, on the top screen. So I've captured the island factory. And keep firing off missiles against the tank, artillery, and recon. general rule, just keep building more units. In Advanced Wars Dual Strike. Keep building infantry every turn. From as many bases as you can. Build that battle copter when you can. On day 8. Moving back up to the top screen, we can hit 2 of the mechs early of anti-airs, and so we should. Meanwhile, my other units are still defending, rather than doing anything to attack. Although I can start moving an APC with an infantry towards the enemy. Try to move it a little more towards that northeast HQ. We're on to Orange Star Day 9 on Lightning Strikes. Again, keep taking out opponents that try to cross the river from Grimm's side of the river. Keep capturing cities in the middle and once you've captured that base, you can start building normal tanks, which are most cost efficient. Otherwise, keep moving your units towards that top middle base, and then have it go east from there. Your battle copter is going to be the most efficient at moving around. You want to keep building infantry because that's going to give you good technique points if you lose a smaller fraction of the units that you have. We're now back on the top screen. Go ahead and use the superpower because I want to do a first shot with the anti-air on the mech on the bottom there, and it's going to do more damage. Meanwhile, I'm going to use this anti-air. The anti-air is to corner the last one, the last battle copter. Since I have superpower on, I'm able to largely wipe out every other unit. Now we're just trying to keep the other units from getting too damaged in the battle copter. We're about to win on this run. 3 anti-airs versus 1 battle copter. As I continue to move recons and other things to take out mechs. On the bottom screen, moving tanks and battle copters up. We want to race them as far ahead as possible without getting hit by like an anti-air or something like that. Because the infantry and tanks from the back can catch up and hit the units that are closer to you otherwise. We just want to take out the infantry on the front line for them and use our battle copters and tanks to just race up towards the HQ. We're racing there while hitting them, continuing to pressure them with the remaining missiles on the tank, artillery. Now that we have a tank and a battle copter on the other side, we can actually start crossing the river to do damage. Now that we can actually hit their mechanized units on that side of the river. So that was One Star Day 10. Now we're on to Grimm's Day 10. Not a whole lot of damage left that it can do. It's building an anti-air. On Day 10 I've won on the secondary front, which allows me to use a tag power on the bottom screen on 11. So let's use it. Which starts with Rachel's 3 missiles to damage the remaining mechanized units. We use a tank to knock out their anti-air, which gives my battle copters complete supremacy in the air. Keep building infantry. We're just advancing our units as quickly as possible at this point. We want to block off their northeast airport so they can't build out of it. We can do that with an infantry. Otherwise, with attack power, we're just racing down the line trying to take out every last unit. Using that APC to help a little bit as well. We're down to just 2 units now. Still building units on this turn, and now changing COs to finish off Grimm. Still building infantry in case there's any technique issue, although I really don't think there would be. And then we're going to wipe out the remaining units. Now Yellow Comet agrees to join the Allied coalition. House 100 points speed off of 11 days, 100 points power, 100 points technique, 300 points S rank. We lost a single infantry with Colin and Rachel. That was it.
Mission complete.